Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. Um. Oh, okay. That's the sound that I heard before. Czar, thank you for resubbing. 37,
37 months. I just did it to flex on Emily.
37 months.
You're
My
fucking
alert
rude, that's what
box.
you are.
My alert box has different sounds now. Uh, I didn't think it would stay like that. For it's fine. It's playing my Starfield specific alert box sounds. But welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Today is session 35 of the Wyndburgh campaign. Today is Saturday, September 9th. And as usual, I am Commander Rod and I am your host and DM for this campaign. Last time we left off, we had a fantastic encounter between the Wyndburgh Wardens and the Nemesis Revenant, Ripley, who was after Kirith and the other Wardens to exact revenge in the name of a Sararak. And the encounter revolved around the Wardens defending the wizard Mochi as he cast a dimensional gate from Faerun, or from Toril to Eberron. Um, and at the last second, you managed to get out of the way as Ripley himself awakened and started putting the beat down on all of you. Ethel, you are currently unconscious as you were hit by Ripley's attack. But as you all step forward, crossing the threshold of the gate, this transition is a surreal experience. Reality seems to twist and warp around you, and you feel as though you're simultaneously being stretched and compressed. The vibrant colors of the portal's interior surround you, and the sensation is disorienting, yet strangely exhilarating. For a brief moment that feels both eternal and fleeting, you exist in an in between state where time and space lose all meaning. You try to close your hands, but it's almost as if when you try to tighten it, your fingers pass through the surface of your own skin and continue on turning, revolving, twisting, and knotting itself around your body. You catch glimpses of otherworldly landscapes and bizarre creatures passing by like fleeting dreams. The cacophony of voices from countless dimensions fills your ears, and suddenly you're expelled from the vortex and crash onto the ground in Eberron. This transition is abrupt, and you stagger to your feet, disoriented and breathless. The world around you is drastically different from Faerun. The skies have this unusual red hue to them. And around you, you hear nothing. No crickets, no voices, not the sound of a babbling brook, nor the sound of whistling wind. This is a dead world. And underneath your feet, you feel as if the ground is about to give way at any moment. There is a feeling that the weave doesn't come here, that weave doesn't exist here, at least not in the way that you're accustomed to it. Kira, your Horai spirit, you feel it unbalanced. Gimnir, you feel as if your very soul is off balance. Saltbrook, you've been here before, but those years of being in Toril, those years of getting adapted to the weave of Faerun, it's jarring. It's difficult to be back here. Ethel, you find yourself shifting from consciousness to unconsciousness. And as your surroundings seem to have been taken in by all of you, Ethel, you feel your very life slipping away. What will you all do?
I'm going to immediately stand up and draw my sword and just look around.
Okay. Solbrook, as you stand to your feet, your heart is racing. There is a a near intrinsic discomfort of being not just back here, but being here at all. It's like a ringing in your ears from the sheer silence that surrounds you, and nothing but the rasp of your blade against your scabbard can be heard. You see twisted, decrepit trees surrounding you. In the distance, you might see a smoke column far, far away.
Which direction is the smoke column in?
As you currently stand, you're struggling to figure out which direction is which. As you look up to the sky, you can't seem to find the sun. The sky itself is overcast and completely covered in dark clouds. The clouds themselves have this dark gray hue to them, but periodically there are these red lightning bolts that split the sky and just cover the entire surrounding area in their red, ominous, and aggressive glow.
Looking at my surroundings, is there a building or like a grovel we can hide somewhere quickly?
Give me a perception check.
All right.
While he does this, can
Yep.
Gimnir check on Ithilden's condition?
Yes, you may. Give me a medicine check.
It's going to be an 18 for the perception, by the way.
Okay. As you look around your surroundings, Saltbrook, you manage to see what looks like the ruins of a watchtower. The entirety of the watchtower, save for its base, um, have been has been destroyed, and though you can take refuge inside, it is essentially destroyed, save for this first floor.
Better than nothing. Go to quickly advise the group to pick up Ithilden off the ground, and we need to get into the watchtower quickly. And with that, I'm going to set off towards the watchtower.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 2 on that medicine check, so I am too panicked.
Oof. Gimnir, you can't really see too much about Ithilden other than she is going in and out of consciousness. She is in the process of dying as it stands.
Okay, Gimnir is going to place a hand on her shoulder and try and give her 5 health from lay on hands.
Okay. As you do this, Ethel, you feel yourself stabilize. And you regain consciousness. Slowly, but you are alive. How much health are you giving her?
I tried 5.
Okay. 5 HP, Ethel, you are conscious. You're still heavily impaired, but you are alive. And your adamantine breastplate has been broken.
Acceptable.
Gimnir is going to look at Ithilden. Are you okay? Can you walk? Do you need help? walking.
I'm gonna, like, just like weakly like wave a hand. Like, is Kirith okay?
And I look over to Kira.
As you ask this question, Ethel, you see that Kirith is just staring out into the distance.
Like, go to get up. Roll an athletics check.
Oh, you can get up.
Okay.
We need to get moving. The more time we stand out in the open, the more time there is to spot us. Come on, move. Another poignant reminder that I am moving towards the thing and get towards the thing. Get toward it.
I follow Saltbrook towards the building and just wave for everybody to follow us.
Yeah, Gimnu's gonna follow behind as well.
Okay.
Like,
Kirith,
lean on Stallion and hobble towards them.
okay. You begin to follow them, and Kirith just wordlessly turns to follow you. There is a distance in her eyes. There is an emptiness, a numbness in her eyes.
I took another level in Bullock.
Yeah. Kira, you took a level in Monk.
Rogue.
Was it Rogue? Rogue 8,
Yeah, I
Monk
originally
2?
took Monk, but then I switched it back to Rogue because it just made more sense.
Gotcha. Okay. You all make your way into the broken watchtower. And as Thalion tries to come inside, you notice that he's just too damn big. He will not fit inside the tower.
Oh god. Is there like nothing else around for miles? It's just like wasted?
It's essentially a wasteland all around.
Can he squeeze under the stairs?
He can curl up underneath the stairs like that.
Okay, he can do that.
Okay. Going inside the watchtower, there is this sense of desolation within. There is dry blood on the floorboards, on the stone of the watchtower itself. Pieces of the ladder that would have led up into the next floors are broken and splintered. And you see pieces of metal bent, almost as if they were melted before this happened, that are just embedded into the hard stone of the watchtower itself. Inside, you see tattered pieces of paper, ruined books, and shattered glass here and there from bottles and other assorted things.
I'd like to post up next to the door, assuming there is a door, or at least the doorway, and just kind of look out outside of my now limited field of view.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get a bearing of where we may be.
Okay. Give me a survival check.
Survival check. Do I get this with advantage as we discussed earlier?
You do get advantage because you are currently trying to navigate in Eberron, where you are from.
Okay. That'll lead us to a 20 dirty.
Okay. Looking out directly ahead of you, Saltbrook, from the door frame, you see hills, and near the tower, over on this side, you see what looks like an old road. And from the position that you're currently standing in, you can tell that you are on the outskirts of Delafelden, which is directly to the south of Fairhaven. Those hills are to the east of Delafelden. You know that directly north of you there is a river with, as far as you remember, a bridge that you will have to cross in order to reach Fairhaven.
I see. I'm going to keep that information to myself just for the time being. You need to get everyone settled before we start moving again.
Okay.
And I'm going to slip back into the tower. Is there a door still, or is that just rotted away?
Just rotted away. It's just a door frame.
Alright, I'm going to step back inside regardless.
Okay. It's being really annoying. That's fine.
I'm leaning on the wall.
That's about to
Trying to
Sylvan?
look far less
Cool.
awkward than I should be looking.
above
For
you.
anyone...
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
go on. Go for it.
For anyone perceptive enough to see me looking, you can tell that my eyes are darting around the small tower, regardless of the fact that we're no longer outside and there's only one entrance. There's a lot of paranoia.
So above you, there is no ceiling. There's no roof. It is caved in. It is destroyed. Directly above you, you see lightning continues to split the sky. It goes on for miles in every single direction.
Just gonna look to the party members here just to make sure everybody got in. Looks like everyone did.
As you look to Kirith, Saltbrook, apart from the vacant expression in her eyes, she's slumped down with her back against the wall, just sitting with her posture is just completely slumped. If there ever was an image of a defeated woman, this is it.
I've never been good with emotions, so I'm going to keep my mind focused elsewhere.
I'm just like kind of sitting there, like observing her, and like I go to try to talk to her again, just softly. Kirith?
Her eyes continue vacant in a 10,000-yard stare.
Kirith.
She slowly moves her head to look at you.
I don't know what to say to her. I love her so much.
He really is gone, isn't he? If it wasn't for you, he would have succeeded in what he was trying to do.
We're not just going to let someone kill one of us.
Sorry?
Gimli goes, well, we're not just going to let him kill one of us, one of ours.
Don't mention the other Warforged. Don't mention the other Warforged. Don't mention the other Warforged.
Listen,
She knows. She knows.
I
this
know.
is this is your trauma episode, not mine.
Yeah, this is true.
Take solace. It's not him. We'll figure something out.
While your words ring true, it's not easy to see the man I once admired doing those things.
Just kind of like awkwardly, vaguely nod.
I'd like to see if my banner has done anything. Just gonna take a look at it idle-mindedly.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, would anything have changed on our persons? Question mark.
Well, that's for the DM to decide.
Toprak, as you examine your banner for the first time since the fight started back in Faerun, you notice that there is a tear in the center of it. Clean tear. Not as if it was pulled, but struck by a blade.
Bastard. Status, everybody. Gonna look away from the banner and start inquiring elsewhere. I can't think of a banner right now.
Minorly fucked, but breathing.
Get me.
Gimnir?
Oh, sorry, auditory processing issues. Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't take much damage. I didn't get hurt that much.
Gareth, how are you doing?
She does not respond.
Fair enough. Kira, how are you holding up?
Physically, fine. Getting a little used to being in a different plane. A little shaken up in that sense. Are you doing okay?
Good as I could be being here. We can't stay here for long, so gather your packs. You need to eat, do so quickly. Get some health potions if you need to, but we can't stay in this rubble for long.
I would indeed like to chug a full action health potion.
Okay. What type of health potion are you chugging?
Oh yeah, don't I have like one super duper one? You give us like 5 normal ones and one uber duper one.
Yes, potion of greater healing.
Yes, that's the one. How many does that do? Because I don't think I wrote that down. My bad.
That's 44 plus 4. So
Yo.
that's 6. That's 20 points of health.
Hell yeah. I like that. I'll take that.
Look around in the rubble of papers and shattered glass and see if there's something that might resemble part, if not a full map, or anything that may illustrate where we have to go for the others who may not know precisely where we are.
Okay. Give me an investigation.
Investigation.
With advantage on this case.
All right.
What
It's
were
gonna
you,
be
rank wise?
12.
Okay. So with a 12, Solprik, you easily manage to see that there are indeed some old, tattered orders on parchment. It's not too easy to read everything that they say, but you do manage to decipher that these are standing orders for the former occupants of this watchtower, and they talk about incoming forces coming from the south, moving towards Fairhaven.
I'm gonna rapidly drop those orders before mind terror comes along. The notable amount of disgust that you'd all be able to very easily witness. Okay. We have to head north. We're just outside of city near Fairhaven.
Your lead, Captain.
Please don't call me that.
What was your rank in the military, Saltbrook?
Captain Yagard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. Captain Saltbrook.
Yes,
Sick.
sir. I'm gonna march my way over to the door frame, and I'm gonna take a little look left and right before you cross the road, and assuming it's clear, I'm gonna trundle on out.
Saltbrook, as soon as you peek your head out from the watchtower, there is a tremor. An impact tremor. Far away. And as your eyes drift from left to right, something catches your eye on your left corner, on the northeast. And over the Star Peaks, the mountain chain to the northeast of Delafelden, you see a massive silhouette between the peaks, moving. And as it moves, you feel another faraway impact tremor. And it stops. The figure stops moving. From this distance, you can't quite make out what it is that you're looking at, but you can link two and two together.
I'm going to just recede my body back into the tower for now.
Maybe we should rest up here for a little bit, gather our strength. We kind of almost got our asses kicked off.
What even was that?
Worm.
Water? What?
I said worm. Water. No, it is water spring. Delicious.
Stopper, give me a history check.
History time. With or without advantage?
Again, advantage on this one.
Advantageous. No, it's gonna be another 12.
You don't know its name or the name that it was given, but you know what that is. We talked about it.
I do not recall. Big scary.
I'll message you.
Sure. Yes. Perhaps it is. I do not recall what it is named, but we should stay in here for now. Is it moving still, or is it?
You saw it move, but very
God.
little.
Is it looking at us, or is it?
Not that you could see. The star peaks are, I want to say, a good 50 kilometers from your current position.
I see. Yes. We can... Would I be able to tell the time of day? Very cloudy, but...
As you try to discern it, Saltbrook, there is this dim light that, as you remember from your time here, following the last war, time is a bit difficult to tell. It's a constant dim light. At night, the lightning keeps everything illuminated. During the day, the sun does not shine.
I guess it doesn't matter. We can rest for a few hours.
Would you all like to do a short rest?
Yes, absolutely, please.
I am game for that.
All right. Short rest it is.
I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap right here.
Do not reset maximum HP changes during this rest, and do automatically apply healing with dice result. You may use as many hit die as you would like.
No need. I'm at full HP. Yeah.
Wait, I can use as many as I want?
Well, you have a certain number of hit die that you can recover.
Ah, I see.
So it'll tell you from how many you choose. You must then press the number. So it might say 10d10 plus 20. You click on that, and that'll give you your healing.
I feel like 81 is a little excessive for a short nap.
Jeez. Okay. Kirith, Kirith is up to 81. 81 HP.
Damn,
I
we're
just rested
cool.
for the spell slots.
What'd you say?
I only rested for the spell slots.
Well, there you go. As time goes by, the few hours that you stay in for this short rest, intermittently you hear and feel the tremor coming from the northeast. It doesn't seem to be any closer or any farther away. And despite the fact that you can all tell that several hours have passed, the sky, the illumination, nothing changes. It's as if no time has passed at all.
I don't like this place.
I don't blame you.
My elven roots are disoriented. Ooh.
Ethel, you see Kirith stand up to her feet and, slap herself in the face with both hands, trying to focus, trying to snap out of it. She takes a deep breath and stretches her arms to the side, and she just... Okay. Okay. No more feeling stupid. No more. I am good to go.
You're not stupid. We've been through a lot. I smack her lovingly on the shoulder.
Yes, but feeling sorry for myself is a bit stupid when we have things that need doing. So, she claps her hands. Where to?
North. In
Yep.
haste.
I am as Ready as I will be.
How do we know which way is north?
There's hills over that direction, and that means that's the east. Which means we have to follow the road this direction. I'm going to point up to the north. Which means that way is south, and that way is west.
Fair enough. Either way.
Aye.
You all make it.
Going to-
You all make it for the road.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to have my hand constantly on my sword as we walk.
Your sword.
I see your sword is as big as mine.
Just everyone stay close and watch your step. I'll bring up the rear and Thalion, go see what you can see.
You're sending him ahead.
Yeah.
Tell Thalion that there's a bridge that we're going to have to cross to make it into Fairhaven. Whether or not it still stands, I don't recall. And if it does, there may be bandits on the way.
Thalion takes to the sky, and Ethel, you can tell that he's flying a bit awkwardly. There's a bit of hesitation to the way that he's flying right now.
Is the air like actually denser here?
It is.
Dang, my humor isn't checking, by the way.
Ew, shut the fuck up.
As you progress northwards, Thalion returns a few, I want to say half an hour since you left the watchtower. And he lands in front of you all. Ethel. He speaks to you.
I see nothing else apart from emptiness.
I just kind of like stand there a second. I give him pat because pat. And then I turn to everyone and just say, "There's absolutely nothing here."
A city ahead of us, but no signs of anyone.
Perhaps a city, but no one living.
Yes. What was the city called again?
Delafelden.
Delafelden. Yes. Delafelden, gateway to Fairhaven. It suffered the same.
And at least we're facing the right way.
I believe the trundling shall continue forth.
Trundling along.
All right. Continuing on the road, you reach a small uphill. And on top of this hill, you see ruined walls, battlements, ruined watchtowers, similar to the ones that you saw before. The architecture is very similar, as if they were built by the same people and around the same time. Along the road, joining the road at least, from the left side, from your west side, you all notice these, apart from you, Saltbrook, you know what these are. These weird metal beams embedded onto the ground, parallel to one another. They look rusted and as if they haven't been used in a very long time.
I wonder if those still work. Well, this is a good sign. We should be getting somewhere soon. Those, if you don't know, are conductor stones for the lightning rails that we used to operate.
Lightning rails.
Lightning rails.
What in the devil are those?
It's like a Do they, do they know they do they know what trains are? Can I just say it's a train? But I don't think anyone would know what that is.
No, they would not. There are no trains in Faerun. Oops.
What the train?
Test TC.
Oh, there we go.
Returned.
Hello.
Sorry, my laptop closed by accident.
It's all good.
House Orion operated a series of train lines and a large international train line throughout Corvair and the rest of the empires here. The stones are, I believe, creations of House Cannith. And, they formed a railway network of these large... I haven't seen anything like them in Eberron, so where we came from, so I presume you don't know what I would be speaking of, but they're like large boxcars, or boxes with windows on them, and they float along those conductor lines using a bit of magic and an engine. That's what it is, an engine that would push forward using electricity, or lightning, I suppose, more accurately.
So
Gimnir looks at Saltbrook and just goes, "To be fair, I don't understand most of what you say."
These make big bucks go fast.
So, like a trade caravan.
Yes, like a trade caravan, but there's no horses or far less people operating it as well. But they don't. They follow these stones exclusively. They don't go on road or anywhere else.
So they're like the Warforged. They're not.
No.
She motions with her hands vaguely.
No. They are made of metal, like the Warforged, but they're not alive. They are controlled, and magic flows through them to make them operate. Not so much so a living being.
Machine.
Should they become a living being?
I would hope not. That would be a sad life to live, going back and forth between a few locations for your entire life.
Then who are we to say that they should be used that way, honestly?
Well, they're not alive, so it's not a question of morality.
I don't know, I'm skeptical.
You are going to see many things you are skeptical, I suppose, then.
Everything I've heard of Eberron seems to point to very silly uses of magic for very silly reasons.
Silly. These were integral to maintaining trade and transportation among the empires across the continent. What might take a trader caravan weeks to do, a train could do in days.
Huh. Some people just have too much of a rush to enjoy life. Others take it slowly.
Yes, but this made everything much more efficient. We didn't have to wait months on end for things to get to places and for projects to be completed while we wait for more supplies to come in. This ensured speed.
What makes it go? Even some of the human creations, they burn coal. The windmills, spin by the wind. What makes these go?
Elemental bound magic.
You said we can't feel the weave here, though?
Nope.
I didn't say that.
No, I guess
we're all feeling this.
Sorry.
The weave here is not the same.
What would I feel like if you were to have me quote unquote roll an Arcana check? Like, what would?
Sure, you can.
See, now I'm like bloody curious. 21.
Okay.
Damn.
With a 21, so the weave in Toril, the weave is very similar to the Force in Star Wars. It permeates every living being. It connects everything. It penetrates everything. And in Eberron, the weave is different. The concept is similar, but it does not connect all things. It connects all living things. Whereas in Toril, a stone is connected to the weave. Here, one must be alive to be connected to the weave.
Place is barren of magic. What do you mean there's magic here?
This place is barren of life. But I'm gonna create bonfire to prove my point.
Roll an Arcana check for me, Saltbrook.
Oh no.
Goober.
14.
Saltbrook, as you extend your hand to cast Create Bonfire, you feel a jolt of electricity flow through your gauntlets. And nothing happens.
That's
Oh
not
my
so good.
God.
I'm going to try it again.
Okay, roll another Arcana check.
19.
Okay. Saltbrook, as you again extend your hand to use Create Bonfire, there is a flicker of flame on the ground. An ember is ignited and it remains ignited, but nothing else.
Deadened, perhaps. But it is still there. And I assume we've kept walking this entire time.
Yes.
Yes, naturally.
As
This
you...
place-
Oh, go on.
This place was different when I last walked the streets with other living people. But there's been such death and carnage that I don't believe the weave is much more what it used to be. It's become turmoiled and hating itself. Look at the sky for all the evidence you need of that.
As you all continue walking, you reach the top of the hill that laid before you, and you all see two things. Directly ahead of you, you see the walls of Delafelden, and it seems like a ghost town. There's no lights in the windows, no smoke rising from it, no sound emanating from it. And on the side of the road, Saltbrook, you see a broken down lightning rail cart.
There, look. There's a lightning rail cart here. I'm just gonna approach the old lightning rail cart.
Upon approaching the lightning rail cart, Saltbrook, you first smell it. Decay in the air. The stench of death, of rot. And as you walk alongside the lightning cart, you see that there is a gaping hole on the side of the cart. And inside, you see them. Dozens of people. Dead. Half-rotted skeletons. You see what might have been a man holding on to what might have been a child. What might have been a woman. Most of the skeletons half-picked clean by ravens and crows and other carrion feeders. But there are no flies. nothing lives inside this cart.
Right. The joy that had been upon me has fallen. I'm gonna put my shirt over my face so I don't smell it as much. I'm gonna try and look into the cart. See if there's anything in there that might be worth taking.
Okay. Since you put the shirt over your mouth, give me a con save with advantage.
Yes, it always works.
And make sure to add 3 to that.
Add 3 to that? Okay. Well, it's gonna be a 9.
Okay. Stolbrook, you throw up a bit inside your mouth. You manage to hold it back. And as you search the inside of the cart, you note that despite the destruction of the cart itself, the conductor area remains largely unaffected. It is empty, and the previous conductor lies dead on his seat.
Does he have anything of note on him?
You note a small control rod in his hand.
I'm definitely taking that.
As you grab a hold of the control rod, Saltbrook, it fizzles with electricity, and you feel the cart begin to thrum to life, and it slowly levitates off of the ground, but then it stops, and it collapses down to the ground, lifting dust and causing the stench from the inside to waft out. I need con saves from everyone.
+3.
+3. That'll be a 10 for my wounded ass.
Didn't mean to roll twice. 16 total.
Okay. I'm waiting to see what Gimnir's is going to be. Okay. 17. Ethel, you also throw up a little bit in your mouth. It's a bit harder to keep it in. A small amount dribbles out. Whereas Kirith just instantly just hurls whatever was in her stomach.
Damn us old bitches.
That's a little bit of extra joy put into Saltbrook, but I'm just gonna pocket the conducting rod for now and jump out of the cart.
All right. Ahead of you, the city of Delafelden stands. As you make it through the main gates of the city, you see them caved inwards, as if a massive force attacked it from the outside. You see skeletons littering the streets, buildings completely torched down to the ground. And for the first time, there is a breeze coming from behind you. A single banner in the courtyard a banner of Delfelden itself flaps in the wind. Around you, you hear the creaking of wood and metal of the buildings that still stand. I need perception checks from everyone.
Always king.
With or without advantage?
No advantage.
Ooh, nat 20.
Good job.
Good job.
Okay. And Gimnir's.
Also natural 20.
Okay. Perfect. Saltbrook and Gimnir. You two are the first to see this. In the distance, among the corpses, you see small figures that dart from one side of the courtyard to the other. They're shrouded in darkness. Oh.
What the fuck?
Yeah, sorry, that's my alert box. It keeps making those noises. There we go. Rosie188, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Saltbrook and Gimnir, you see small figures silhouetted running among the corpses in this courtyard. The only sign of life you've seen so far.
Saltbrook, any idea?
It was too quick. Be ready. Gonna draw my sword and just kind of slow walk towards the city gate.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm holding up that shield and battle axe and going right next to him.
As you continue into this courtyard, there is a tension in the air. And in the alleyways, the dark alleyways that surround the central courtyard to the city of Delafelden, you all sense movement through the alleyways. Nothing big, but quick and silent.
I signal Thalion to kind of go circle again.
Okay.
Just kind of like stay ready, but, you know, airborne.
As Thalion takes up into the sky, Thalion takes up to the sky, and as his shadow passes over the courtyard, you see that where his shadow touches, there are inklings of movement. As if whatever this is trying to stay hidden.
That's a kobold? I'll talk back to Gimnir.
Is that what you see?
I do not know. It's
Is there-
small.
Is there magic afoot?
I doubt it.
Arcana check!
Can I get a closer look at all? Like a better look?
You could attempt to climb one of the buildings.
Sure.
Okay.
Is there any check-in specific I need to do, or do I just scale it?
Scaling would be just free.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna climb a building, and I'm just going to try and see if I can get a better look at what these things are.
Okay. Oops. Kira, as you climb up one of the buildings to try and get a better view, you don't fall off. In fact, you manage to get to the top, and as your eyes focus into what these small shadows are, give me a perception check.
29.
Kira, what you see, it shakes you. You see what appear to be children in rags, covered in dirt and dried blood, trying to stay hidden from all of you. And as you manage to focus your vision on one of these children, you see one of them rummaging among the corpses.
I quickly climb back down and, like, I sit down on the ground. I have to take a minute.
Okay.
Gimna goes up to her. Are you okay? What did you see?
Are they actual children or magic children?
Yeah, Tessa has a headache right now, so she's stepping out.
That's okay. Would you like to play Kira in the meantime, Gimnir?
Yeah, sure. I'll play Kira. Kira's sits there for a minute. She says, I saw kids rummaging through corpses.
Scavs.
Like actual children or like undead?
Yeah, like actual children.
I'm going to keep my sword raised. That doesn't seem quite right to me.
Yeah, could I like... They're like behind like that building that she was just on, right?
The location that you saw them is right here.
I see.
Trying to remain hidden.
Could I, like, I guess again, try to sense for magic?
You could try, yes.
You could certainly try. 15.
With a 15, Ethel, you don't sense any magic at play here.
Okay.
In fact,
So they...
you sense the absence of it.
Okay. So that means they're not alive? Do they look normal?
As far as Kira could see, apart from the dirt and the dried blood and the ragged clothes, they look like regular children. Emaciated, but regular children.
Oh, so they're like not in our line of sight yet?
No.
Would I get into line of sight and do a peekaboo and look at them?
How would you like to do that?
See, I do have high stealth, so perhaps like sneak along the edge of like that house and just kind of take a peek around the edge, or like go to the back of it and take a peek around.
Give me a stealth check.
13, damn.
Okay.
Even with a +8.
Ethel, as you sneakily make your way around the edge of the house, you manage to catch a proper glimpse. This too shakes you to your core. Looking closely, you see an extremely, extremely thin child. A human child. Picking at a corpse. You see their fingers are either bruised, calloused, or have many cuts along them. And you see this one small child looking into the sternum of this corpse, trying to pull a piece of meat off of the bone. And as he manages to rip a piece, you see him just put it in his mouth and eat it.
Well, that's
Okay, we should get out of here. Like now.
I am intending to make haste through the city. Worry not, Gimnir.
You all begin to make your way through.
Yeah.
Gimir does not want to stick around, and he pulls Kira up and helps her along.
Making your way through the courtyard, as soon as you all begin to move, Ethel, you see the boy lift his head up, almost like a wild animal. His pupils contract for a moment, and there's this sense of unmistakable terror and desperation in his eyes, and he scurries away. When you begin to move, you all see small inklings of movement around you, seemingly moving away from you. And as you continue your journey through the city, though you do not see any more children, the same scene that you've seen here repeats itself. It's a dead city. A ghost city. Corpses litter the streets. Some human, some dwarfish, some elvish, tieflings, gnomes, halflings, and some warforged as well.
Would I recall the location of any military installations in the city?
Give me a history check.
With or without advantage?
No advantage on this one.
There'll be a 14.
Okay. With a 14, Solbrick, you know that a barracks would be present, but where it should be, there's nothing but a burned down building.
Suppose that's understandable. Keep moving, I guess, through the city. I don't want to linger in the scav town for too long.
Would I like, perhaps, observe one of the dead Warforged?
Okay, yeah, you may.
No, you may not.
Approaching one of the dead Warforged, Ethel, you note their garments, tattered and somewhat discolored. They wear bright orange, or what would have been bright orange before it lost its color. And on the faceplate of this Warforged, you see this symbol. Painted on with dye. You notice that all of the other Warforged around also bear the same mark. I'll just paint it over.
Would I be knowledgeable enough to tell if he would be like the same quote unquote make and model? That's great.
Give me an investigation with advantage.
Okay.
The amount of time that you spent checking the writings that were in the manor.
Wow. Okay.
You would be more proficient with figuring this out. Ethel,
Well, apparently not according to my roll.
A 5. With a 5, Ethel, as you check this Warforged corpse, you struggle to figure out where its mark number would be. You check its left forearm where Grimorian's was, and it's not there. And you see in its chest, same place where Grimorian's core was, you see a large burnt hole. The metal surrounding it melted inwards. Judging by the size, you do not... There's no reason for you to believe that this is the same subspecies of Warforged as Grimorian. This is roughly the size of a regular humanoid.
Okay.
You managed to glean no other information.
I go to catch up with the group.
You are now approaching the other end of the city. You've spent roughly 15, 20 minutes walking through. And as you reach the northern gate of Delafelden, Solbrook, give me a perception check.
Yes, sir. Perception's going to be a 23.
I see. Polar Busini, thank you so much for the follow. And that was a 23. Okay. On a 23, Solbrook. Oh. Is someone trying to spam with like an offer or something? No, thank you. Bye. Anyway, on a 23, Solbrook, you managed to discern on a wall, painted on with blood, a message. And it says, if you made it here, turn back. For nothing but death awaits you. Fairhaven has fallen.
This certainly seems to be an old, caked, bloody patch, I'd presume.
Yes.
At least I would presume it's old, considering Fairhaven has fallen was a long time ago.
It's very old, dried blood.
Yes, I shall disregard the warning signs and continue forth.
As you exit the city, the stench of carrion begins to dissipate from your nostrils. And far in the distance, you can see the river Aundair that is to the south of Fairhaven, as well as the bridge that leads there. And as you continue on your way, you all feel another tremor. Your eyes instinctively move to the northeast. And there, in between the mountains of the Star Peaks, to the north of the Silverwood, again, you see that massive figure in between the peaks of the Star Peaks. It moves slowly, and another tremor, and it stops.
When you say figure, do you mean like a human-shaped figure?
I'll draw what you see. You see the mountains, and in between those mountains, you see a figure that towers almost as tall as the surrounding peaks, as it moves slowly from one side to the other. And with every step, you feel the tremor underneath your feet.
That is not good.
Saltbrook, is that thing friendly?
No. I'm going to continue down the path with the shrimple. Nuh-uh.
Give me nah.
Nuh-uh.
The city of Delafelden stands on top of a hill, and going downwards through the road, it leads onto the river Aundair. And as you approach the bridge, I need perception checks from everyone.
$18.
Yo, I fucking hate it here. I'm gonna use my inspiration. There we go. There's numbers I like to see. Fuck.
23 for Ethel. Let's see, Gimnir's.
19 for Kira, and Gimni got a 6.
Okay. Ethel, you are the first to notice the river Aundair runs red.
What's it smell like?
You smell nothing so far. The breeze that existed within the city is no more. And as you begin to approach, the bridge ahead of you, dilapidated, derelict, nearly destroyed but still crossable without too much trouble. Looking over the side of the bridge down onto the waters of the river Aundair that flows east into the Scion Sea, you see floating corpses in the water.
Wonderful. Glad that hasn't stopped.
Will you cross the bridge?
Yes.
I will go first and give it a little jumpy, since I am the lightest of foot.
The bridge still feels solid in the area that you're using. From one side to the other, it has lost most of its leftmost side. Most of it collapsed. You see scorch marks along the edge of it where it has collapsed, as well as other scorch marks along its length.
And those
Old.
bastards missed. I've actually done something. They hit it.
You call
Old
this a
scorch
mess?
marks. And where these scorch marks sit, there are potholes, craters that sit on the surface of the bridge.
Oh, the miss. They were supposed to take the damn bridge out, not leave it standing.
As you proceed down the bridge, Sulpric, you see a mage, or the corpse of a mage, against the parapet of the bridge. In his hand, a crumpled piece of paper.
I will walk up to this El Magino, and I shall check for a tag on him to see if I can't remember who this man was.
Okay. Give me... Give me a history check.
Not 20.
Fantastic. You immediately recognize his dress and his and the insignia that's sewn into his right shoulder. This is a spellcaster of the Army of Fairhaven. You never served with this man, but you know of his unit, the Blood Tusks. And this is a high-ranking spellcaster. Higher ranking than you, roughly a major. And in his hand, there's a crumpled piece of paper.
Sorry, I was just chatting with my dad. I missed that last part of it.
In his hand, you see a crumpled piece of paper.
I will relieve the man of that piece of paper.
As you open it, you can tell that this is a magical scroll. This is a scroll of Meteor Swarm, an extremely powerful incantation of the School of Evocation.
Is it still valid for one more use of a coupon?
Scrolls are single use, so...
Evidently it is no longer useful. Darn. I'll fold it up and put it in the man's pocket.
I'm gonna give you a freebie on this one. Scrolls that are not used, this scroll does not look like it has been used. Used scrolls appear blank.
Oh, I see. So I can actually read it and see what it is, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. I'm taking
So,
that then.
as a spellcaster of your caliber, you know this intrinsically.
Let's see. Okay. Well, I'm definitely taking that.
Okay. Add that to your inventory.
What's the scroll of? Meteor Strike?
Scroll of Meteor Swarm.
Alright.
And Meteor Swarm is a 9th level spell.
Holy shit.
Yeah. On the body of the wizard itself, you see several marks on his chest that indicate that he was struck by projectiles. Projectiles that are no longer attached to his body. Dried blood surround the holes on his garments.
I'll give him a little crisp salute, and I will leave him to remain in his last state.
You all reach the other side of the bridge. And ahead of you, you see the mighty walls of Fairhaven in the distance. There is a sudden shift in the wind, and a breeze flows from the city towards you. And the same stench of carrion that you felt before flows into your nostrils. Albeit more potent this time. Solbrook, you were used to the forest surrounding Fairhaven from the south. These were evergreens. These trees never changed colors on their leaves, no matter how potent into winter, no matter how potent into summer, they always remained the same color. And yet now, surrounding the walls of Fairhaven, you see them with a dark orange hue, as if fall has finally come to Fairhaven.
That's a bit poetic, isn't it? No, that's not what I'm saying.
As you reach the main gate of Fairhaven, you find yourselves... In fact, I'm going to ask for a perception check from everyone.
All right. It's going to be a 22.
21.
No way.
14 from Kirith, 19 from Kira.
Sorry, my thing's been a little slow.
All
looks
good.
like a 13.
A 15?
13.
13. Okay. Solbrook, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh, no.
Plus
Bitch.
3.
With disadvantage plus 3, it's going to be a 16.
Okay.
Actually, do I add my roll bonus modification on there as well?
What do you mean?
So if it's with disadvantage, do I still get a plus 6 to it?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so in that instance, it's actually 22.
Okay. With a 22, you feel a tremble take control of your hands. This isn't incapacitating, but there's a tremor in your hands. The air from your lungs is almost pulled out of you. You take shallow breaths. In front of you, you see the destroyed gates of your city. But more importantly, you see a sea of Warforged destroyed at the gates. In the city itself, a single torrent of rain seems to be falling down upon it. As you look around, it seems to stop on the borders of the city itself. It's only raining in there.
I'm going to just kind of drop my sword into the dirt. kind of lean on the old flag pole for support. Because, ouchie, my hands and head go. No.
You hear these whispers in the wind, Saltbrook. Though you can't tell if they're actually there, no one else hears this.
Just gonna keep holding on to the old pole and trying to recover my brain. 'Cause words.
What would you like to do?
I think it's probably... I'm just gonna observe the field for a moment. Try to ground myself in reality.
We're all just standing here looking at a bunch of dead Warforged again.
It's a
Yep.
sea of them. You see no less than 10,000.
Oh my god.
All of this death. All of this destruction. And for what? The folly of war accompanies us even out here. Even in a completely different realm.
Is this still a good idea? After everything?
There's no more folly than us defending ourselves. But we came here to do something, and I don't think we should step back now. I'm going to lean down to pick up my sword and put it back in its sheath.
If we saw what a fucked up human being could do, what would a corrupted Warforged do to the world?
I'm just going to kind of extend my hand and look behind me at the sea of dead Warforged. Your answer's already been... Your question's already been answered. Though their plight was commendable, these actions need not but condemnation. And I'm going to set off towards the city gate.
Ethel, would you like Thalion to continue airborne or land?
I was just thinking about that. So long as flying in light rain isn't a problem for him, I would prefer him being kind of our eyes and ears
Okay.
while we, I guess, rummage through dead bodies. Am I right, gang? Woo!
We should really take a step back and evaluate our lives and what got us here.
It's far too late for that now.
I think what you're trying to say, Gimnir, is evaluate Mochi that brought us here.
Oh yeah, he's on thin ice too.
I feel like the man has been on thin ice since he was born. There's a slight tremble to Kiritha's voice. Ethel, you can tell that she's very nervous.
I would like to give her hand a squeeze.
As you do, she looks over at you and she says, I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about. There's the sea of dead, very dead warforged. They're totally not going to come back to life and eat us alive.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're okay, because I don't know if I'm doing too well.
As you begin making your way through the sea of warforged in front of you, you see mangled bodies, some of them still standing, but doubled back, broken on their hips, with their upper torso just hanging uselessly backwards onto the ground. Their weapons, their shields, their armor, rent, melted, broken. As you approach the main gate, no portcullis to speak of, just the arch. The same silence that permeates the wasteland around you continues here. And as you walk in, you see the desolation around you. Fires that seem to have been burning for years continue on, differently than what it was in Delafelden. The trees, despite their orange coloration, their bark rotted, if not burnt away. And among the bodies of the Warforged, you begin to see organic corpses. Men, women, young and old, scattered about. No ravens or vultures to speak of. Just rotting with time.
We thought once they breached the gate, we could stop them here, but there's just too many of them.
Solbrook, in your mind, you recall the images you saw that day. Thousands of warriors of Fairhaven, paladins, rangers, fighters, monks, spellcasters, clerics, all of them united hand in hand. Dwarves, elves, humans. The combined might of Fairhaven stood as a wall against the Warforged. You remember the pounding on the gates. You remember the tremors upon the earth with the marching feet of 50,000 Warforged. And your defensive force of less than 5,000 stood. Archers on the walls, pikemen waiting behind the gates. And yet it was not enough. Lightning bolts poured from the sky as wizards tried to defend their people. Paladins cast massive shields of faith together to defend the city. And yet it was not enough. You remember the screams, the battle cries, the inspiring speeches for a last stand that stood but didn't stand. And as you look around, Saltbrook, your eyes betray you, for they dare not look in the direction of your home. You know what awaits you.
Once again, I'm going to lean on the banner for support. With a added verbal, ah. Although maybe not as goofy as that. Just a exhaling of... But my eyes shall be transfixed on mine home to a degree of which it is hard to not notice that I am simply staring at something.
Saltbrook. You okay, Saltbrook?
Ymnir was ignored! Yeah, listen, I'm nervous.
You
Search the big
know
ones.
what you
Okay.
must do.
I do not want to.
So, I don't see. So,
I'm going to gulp. Very gulp-like. And the loud sort of gulp.
Well, he experiences psychosis. I kind of just
What
like
a helpful and friendly way to help a friend having a mental breakdown. I'm so glad I'm
Listen.
traveling with you.
nice voice changer laugh. That was really funny.
oops.
Listen. Yeah. Oh, was it a spoiler? Oh.
No,
Listen, as
it
a
wasn't
fellow.
a spoiler.
Well, then we're gonna give Silberg a task. I kind of like vaguely say to the group, just search the big ones, the juggernauts. They'll have a serial number on their left forearm.
All
And I
right, then.
start searching buddies.
Give me an investigation, Ethel.
Not one.
Pissing, shitting, vomiting, convulsing. All right.
Ethel,
Lay it on me.
the image of all of these corpses weighs on you. Everywhere you look, you see his face. Everywhere you see a hand, it reminds you of his hand holding onto your ankle. And in the silent screams in the faces of these dead warforged, you hear his pleas for your help.
See, that's revenge. See, now I am also experiencing psychosis, Silbrook.
Kirith,
Common L.
Kirith, on the other hand, rolled a dirty 20. So you see her try to lift one of the bodies. It's just way too heavy, but she's like, "I found one," and she manages to lift one of his arms to look, and it says MK.IX.
The last digits.
It's IX.
Oh. Wasn't Grimm's written in just like normal and it was like 100 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That stands
Like
for
I'm
that stands for Mark 9, yes?
I guess. Am I looking for numerals or like Arabic numbers?
What she sees are numerals.
Yeah, but I'm asking you what was Grimm's.
Grim had Arabic
Okay.
algorithms.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
We're looking for common nothing. That's what I thought.
of the corpses that you're able to find here, none of them have algorithms on their arms. Only numerals. From MKI to MKI9 IX, so from 1 to 9.
I see. You just keep looking.
Solbrook, what will you do?
In a trance-like walk, I'm going to start going towards me household.
Gimir will be following him cautiously behind.
Kirith will follow as well. You make your way through the destroyed streets. Death, destruction, in every direction you can see. Let me just something because I need to. Okay, there. I had to remember which one it was. You see rubble everywhere. You see boulders stacked into the earth where they landed. You see trebuchets and catapults, onagers and mangonels. And the same silence as before permeates the surrounding area. Solbrook, you have walked these streets hundreds, thousands of times. And as you reach the side of a temple of Tyr, erected by those that came from Toril to Faerun, you see it. Directly ahead of you. The ruins of your old home.
I'm going to take my hat off.
Put an inspiration on your page.
Yes, sir.
As you
And it's just a
approach,
simple walk into the house.
you approach the entrance. Your home now completely burned, still standing somehow on sheer stubbornness. Will you walk in?
So I turn around. Do not follow me unless I call for you. And with that, I'm going to take 2 steps backwards, spin about, and go into the house.
You all watch as Saltbrook makes his way through the main door frame of the house, broken in half. And as you walk in, Saltbrook, you see the stairs that led to your wife and her workshop. You see stairs that led to your daughter Lyra's bedroom. There's nothing but ash here. And to your right, you see the door you fought so hard to hold closed. You remember as the door was broken down, splintered. You remember the sounds. Sounds you have tried so hard to forget. And you remember the name. The name that hurt you so much to recall. Lynette. Your wife.
Oh my god.
I had to.
You
I
ass.
couldn't not.
Take that inspiration away, you ghoul.
Fuck you. I'm
Fuck
not touching
you.
that shit.
And as you make your way into the main chamber of the house, you see it standing. Somehow. Your old armor as a paladin.
What the fuck?
It seems untouched. Almost cared for.
Can't be right. I will inspect the area around the armor first.
Give me an investigation.
Investigation.
And give me 1 second. Because
Damn, I'm using
check
that
something.
fucking I'm using that inspiration. I'm not accepting a 6. I will, however, accept a 16.
Give me 1 second. I need to make sure. Okay. Yeah. A 16, you said?
Yes.
The surrounding area of the armor itself is free of dust, almost as if someone has been here recently. Despite the fact that this entire building is ruined, it's almost as if the cobblestone of the floor has been delicately and attentively cleaned. As if
I'm gonna
untouched by
Go ahead.
time, this spot of your old life still stands. You were going to say?
I'm gonna rest a hand on the shoulder plate of the armor.
So you touch it.
Yes.
As your hand rests on the shoulder plate, you feel a wind erupt from behind you, and your banner slips from your hand, and it collapses on the ground next to the armor. You feel a presence behind you.
I will turn to look.
Standing behind you, wearing the colors of Fairhaven, shield in hand, your wife's glaive in her other hand, hair as dark as the night, and eyes stricken blind, white and milky. You see her. Your daughter, Lyra. As she stands there, I need a wisdom check with disadvantage.
Wisdom check with disadvantage. It's gonna be a 5 or 7 rather.
Is that +3?
Nope,
Nope, too far.
not even that.
Shrimply, not even there.
Stolbrook, as your eyes lock onto the visage of your daughter, uncontrollably, tears begin flowing. And despite the damage to your left eye, your tear duct still works. The trembling of your hands transfers to your knees. You feel a shortness of breath as the visage of your daughter stands in front of you. Her eyes blind, blood streaks instead of tears flowing down her face. She wears the armor that you once wore, an exact copy. But instead of clean and pristine, it's dark, rusted.
What
Hello.
are you?
I am what you dread the most, Father. Your past.
Just gonna look back at the armor real quick to make sure it's still shiny and clean.
It is.
This does not make sense to me.
It has been an eternity since that fateful night when darkness snuffed out my life and stole away the vibrant flame that burned within me. I stand before you now as a revenant spirit, trapped between the realms of the living and the dead. I have wandered these ethereal plains, haunted by the pain of our shared past. But today, Father, I come not to torment you, but to offer you a chance at redemption.
You're a revenant now? I'm sure that's just a phase.
You failed, Father. You failed to protect me, your beloved daughter, and my dear mother. In that moment of despair, when evil's grip tightened around us, you faltered. You succumbed to fear, allowing you to extinguish the light that once burned so brightly in your soul. But I refuse to let that define you. I refuse to let our story end in tragedy. There is a way, Father. A way for you to kill the pain of the past and forge a path towards redemption. And it lies in the crucible of battle, where you must face me and emerge victorious.
I cannot fight you.
This is not to be a battle of flesh and blood, Father, but a battle of spirit and will. Face me in combat. Confront the echoes of your failures, the weight of your regrets. Let every strike and every parry be a testament to your strength, to your determination to rise above the mistakes of your past. But if you do, know that I shall be relentless. For it is in this relentless pursuit that you will find the strength you seek. What say you?
Where is my sword?
It is where it has always been.
The basement?
You will find it already in your hand, Father.
I'm just going to take a quick look at my hand where my sword's supposed to be.
As you look down, she's right. Your old sword, rusted, unkempt, rests in your hand.
I can't fight with this. It's dulled, rusted, weak.
As is your spirit. The pain you carry is not a burden to be discarded, but a crucible from which your strength must be born.
Then let me don my armor.
You must claim it from me.
I'm gonna look behind me again.
The armor is not there anymore.
And that's why that's clean and this isn't. Very well. I'm gonna take my sword into two hands and prepare to stabby.
All right. Roll initiative.
Gonna be a solid 14 there.
All right.
Now, is this the funny sword that we discussed, or just my current one?
Current sword.
I bet.
And we will end it here for now. We have been going for 2 hours. We will continue this next time on Wyndburgh.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye!
Everyone, thanks for watching. I appreciate it very much. Rosie188 and Polar Bassini, thank you so much for your follows. And I will see you next time. I didn't forget you, Rowan. I know you asked for this, and I couldn't do it at the time, but I can now. Kermit the Frog signing out.